Hello and welcome to Graceful Connections presented by Academy for the Soul. I'm your host, Sophia, and the co-creator of Graceful Connections together with Christel Hughes, founder of Academy for the Soul, the online school for intuitive arts. Graceful Connections is an adventure of exploration, discovery, healing, liberation, growth, and truthful expression, which is facilitated, amplified, magnified, and blessed really with grace. As graceful connections are woven between you and our expert speakers, your graceful guides into creating heaven on earth. Every time you join Graceful Connections, not only are you held in the orb of grace and receiving an infusion of grace, but also you claim your willingness to create heaven on earth. And indeed, all it takes is your willingness from a pure heart and with pure intentions. And as your willingness is affirmed, it echoes throughout the universe. Your intentions are strengthened and answered with clarity, empowerment, inspiration, activation. All that you need to make it true, to make it real, in highest service to the divine and highest good of all. And if at any moment a voice within you asks, who am I to create heaven on earth? Let grace answer and remind you, you are a child of the divine. And creating heaven on earth can naturally be your daily joy. So thank you for being with us and bringing your unique vibration, colors, and energetic imprint, without which the world would be missing. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of grace, for your willingness to create heaven on earth. So let's begin. I invite you to relax, take a few deep breaths. Breathing out all that does not belong to this moment. Let's bring all your attention, all your presence here and now. We set our intention that our time together, all that is shared in words and beyond the words, all the energies that we call in and flow, serve our highest good, our evolution, and be of service to the highest good of all. You can decide to open your heart or open it even more and be ready to receive. And you can decide to open your mind or open it even more and be ready to receive. Remembering your connection to the center, to the heart of the earth, and your connection to the center, to the heart of the universe. So that you are held, both grounded and suspended. You are safe, relaxed, and ready and open to receive. Now I'm calling the orb of grace from the heart of the universe. And placing the orb of grace around our group, around our gathering, and each and every one of us. That we be held in the orb of grace and infused with grace all along our time together. Let's take a moment to adjust to the purity and the subtle high frequency of grace, allowing it to gracefully dissolve, realign, harmonize, amplify, magnify all that needs to be so. In purest alignment with divine will and the divine order of grace. And breathe. Beautiful. Now, within the orb of grace, I'm delighted to welcome our expert speaker, Cosmic Queen of Hearts, Sophia Simos, who invites us to the fifth dimensional heart, exploring ascendance through the cosmic colors of love. Sophia, lovingly recognized as the Cosmic Queen of Hearts, is an illuminator in the realm of cosmic heart mastery. With a magical touch, she embarks on a divine mission to empower sensitive truth seekers, guiding them through a transformative journey back to the sanctuary of their hearts. Through the alchemy of embracing inner beauty and unlocking potent potential, those under Sophia's guidance become catalysts for heartfelt, authentic, and soul-centered creations. A certified intuitive strategist with the Academy for the Soul, Sophia seamlessly blends the mystical and the practical. Drawing on over 12 years of training in ancient and modern energy-based practices, she carries the mantle of certified Qigong facilitator and energy medicine guide. These profound foundations lay the groundwork for Sophia's unique gift, an ability to unlock the heart's mystical and magical powers. As a radiant channel for angelic and Elohim consciousness, Sophia infuses cosmic wisdom into earthly existence. The visionary behind the captivating Petals of Perfection path. She has personally walked this transformative journey, offering each seeker a pathway to ascend into the fifth dimension and beyond. Her transformative work inspires a collective shift towards heart-centered living. Sophia's leadership paves the way for a new paradigm, where the heart is the compass, and every step of the journey is a celebration of one's authentic expression. It is such a blessing to have you with us today, Sophia. Welcome.
Hi, Sophie. Thank you so much for that introduction. It's my absolute highest joy to be here today on Graceful Connections, particularly the theme, Heaven on Earth, is one of my favorite topics. And I'm so looking forward to exploring this further with you. And also, thank you very much for the Orb of Grace. It was very softening. Yeah. Really stabilizing. It was beautiful. Thank you. That was a lovely start to this interview. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's lovely to gather together in this hour of grace, right? So,
Yeah.
thank you for being with us, Sophia. So, everyone, Sophia is going to share her expertise about the 12-petaled pink heart chakra, taking us on a mystical and magical exploration. And she will also lead us through a pink heart chakra attunement, lullaby of love liberation, with the nurturing presence of the Seven Sisters and the expansive wisdom of Elohim consciousness. And on Friday, October 20th at 8 p.m. Pacific time, we'll gather again with Sophia for an Intuitive Readings Galore live call. She'll answer your question, which cosmic deity is emerging within me? Now, for the moment, let's dive into our fascinating topic, exploring the 12-petaled pink heart chakra. And I'd like to begin with asking you, Sophia, could you explain the distinctions between the various dimensions of consciousness?
Absolutely. The third dimension of consciousness is a state of consciousness which is founded upon the concept of separation. It's an experience when you're disconnected, you're fragmented from your own truth, from your own authenticity. My experience of third dimension was as a young adult. I had a stellar corporate career, sales marketing professional, working for luxury and premium brands. And I was so firmly entrenched in working long hours, a very fast-paced life. I was traveling the world, and I was living in this realm of doing. You know, the realm of doing looks like you're pushing and you're forcing, you're controlling, you're striving. And I got to a point where this doing could only as so much, you could manage it to a certain degree, but it really isn't sustainable long term. And I was burnt out. I was suffering burnt out. But because I was so disconnected from the truth, I completely ignored that, Sophie. And I kept on pushing and forcing and controlling. For me, I was seeking perfection, attainment. And I would do it at whatever it cost. So then one day, everything just came crashing down. This was my force majeure moment, I call it, because I was experiencing this debilitating pain in my abdomen. And I was later diagnosed with endometriosis, which is like stage 4. And a large benign tumor in my uterus, which was the size of an orange. And what preceded were these surgeries where they had to resect my bowel, and a decade of infertility, of digestive issues, of adrenal fatigue. I just kept on doing. And I remember one day I was driving to work. I was still living and working in the corporate world. And I was just crying uncontrollably as I was driving. And this soft and angelic voice just washed over me, sharing some loving and reassuring words. And I recall at the time I had to stop driving because I was so distressed when I was driving. It was way too unsafe. And I just felt this real sense of love and compassion I'd never experienced before. And at that moment, I just surrendered to doing in order to conceive a child. And as soon as that happened, I felt this dense, heavy energy just lift from my body, ascending up. And it was like this ton of weight just lifted. And I experienced this lightness and freedom and peace that I'd never experienced before. And this experience was my divine intervention, as I call it, because it opened the door, right? Yep. It opened the door to the fourth dimension, state of consciousness, where it's about transformation. And this is where my fourth dimensional experience was all about fixing, changing, healing, transmuting, transforming myself. So in retrospect, I recall how I used to think, what is the cause? What is the root of my infertility, of this endometriosis? I didn't know what it was at the time. But I remember having this higher perspective of of this curiosity, perhaps, of, what is this? Where's it coming from? And it's opened a new path for me. A new door opened. And this is when I started to seek natural and holistic approaches to greater well-being. And I was so curious to find this cause and this root that I was looking at, energy-based modalities. I was exploring, like health and wellness became such an integral part of my life at this point in time. I was looking at holistic nutrition and I ended up being a holistic health coach. I was gaining insight into Ayurvedic wellness. I was practicing Ashtanga yoga daily. I was meditating. It was all about health and wellness. And I remember the time I was drawn to this ancient practice called Qigong. There's very little known about this in the West. Not many people, and certainly within my circle of friends, no one knew about Qigong. And I used to say I was just like similar to Tai Chi. And everybody knew Tai Chi, but they just didn't know what Qigong was. So I started to practice Qigong. I later became a Qigong certified coach, as you said in my bio. And I was really curious about Qigong as I practiced it daily. I started to feel the qi being life force energy. I could feel it within my hands as I would use these meditative, gentle and soft movements to move the qi in order to allow the qi to flow in the right direction, strengthening, stabilizing the meridians that were connecting to all of our organs. and I could feel the chi running through these meridians. And I could feel the chi within my hands. And I was thinking, oh my God, what is this? Whilst the teacher, our master, was saying, oh, it's chi, it's our life force energy. But still, it was such a revelation to actually feel this presence that's unseen. Right? So I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I want to learn more about this energy. But another level there was that I realized through the movements of Qigong what was happening. It was alleviating physical, mental, emotional disharmony. It was lifting through these gentle movements. So this got me on this bandwagon about energy. So I thought, let's look and let me just look into this energy medicine, which became the next step in understanding more about our entire human energy field, our chakra system, the energy bodies. And I was seeing that it was kind of very second nature for me, this work. And I say work because I was using a lot of these movements with my hands, moving the energy. I had this daily energetic hygiene practice down pat. And I was just feeling so much more lighter, so much more alive. It was very freeing. And then that led me to, well, how else can we go to the core of any disharmony? And that led me to integration work, soul integration work. And, this is where, I started to understand and again experience the movement and the dissolution of patterns, outdated beliefs, paradigms which just didn't serve my highest good any longer. And I remembered at that point, because soul integration is essentially expanding your light, because the fragments, those fragmented parts of you are just all coming back. And I remember this so vividly, Sophie. I remember seeing these jigsaw pieces. They're like light, and they're just coming back and entering my field, forming a jigsaw puzzle, the picture of a jigsaw puzzle. But it wasn't complete yet. But I knew and had a sense that, okay, there's this unity and this wholeness and this completeness. Something was coming together. And that's when I started to channel angelic consciousness. And then I started to experience more higher frequencies of Elohim consciousness start to express through me. And then, so this was so beautiful, because this was the time the Elohim, known to me as the Seven Sisters, They are the feminine counterparts of the Elohim pairs, the feminine and the masculine. The feminine Elohim, known to me as I said, the seven sisters, they are my cosmic guides, and they are my, my spiritual team, let's say. And they stepped forward at that time, so they could lead me and support me to return back to my heart. And I do remember that, knowing that it's time to return back to my heart. I didn't really know what that big jigsaw puzzle looked like at that point, but I was just guided, and I just needed to trust that I just have to bring my focus and just bring my attention back to my heart. And of course, I am a cosmic heart healer, so I was practicing a lot with not only my heart. Probably practicing is not the best way of saying it. I was healing a lot of hearts, my heart and other hearts. So I was really guided to really work through and really understand and just come into my own truth. And this was the transition from fourth dimension of transformation into the fifth dimension, which is the state of pure love. And it's the state of heaven on earth. And this is where we transcend self-judgment, judgment upon others, judgment of situations, of events. It's not about doing any longer, the fixing, the changing, the transforming. No. It's about being. Because the doing, this relentless pursuit of doing, that only creates this overexertion. It pulls you away from the truth of you, because you're pushing and you're forcing, you're controlling, you're striving to make things happen, which is not heart aligned. So for me, it was no longer about seeking my health and vitality, and it was no longer about seeking freedom or peace. It was no longer about feeling and seeking abundance and prosperity, because I came to a realization and self-realization, really, heaven on earth. And you realize that that's me, that's who I am, I'm all of this. So why do I need to explore it and seek for that externally? And yeah, that was, and that continues to be my experience in the fifth dimension.
Yes, and it's been quite a journey. And well, before I comment on a couple things that you have shared, I really want to thank you for being so open and authentic and vulnerable and true in this evocation of your journey, because through this evocation of your journey, we really get clarity on the different levels of dimensions. It is much more than an illustration, but it does serve as an illustration that we can relate to these different stages. And so first I want to really thank you for, yes, being so true in the telling of this part of your journey so far. And also I want to thank you for having had this commitment and this determination to go on, because I suppose this didn't happen in just the snap of a finger. It's been certainly quite a journey, right?
Oh, absolutely. And if I can just quickly say there, Sophie,
Sure.
that
Yeah.
at the time I didn't know which dimension I was in. I didn't go, oh, I'm in the fourth dimension now, like, oh, I'm all about
Yeah.
transfer. I didn't know that. This is all retrospect. This is now looking back
Yeah.
at my journey and going, oh, I can clearly see now. And it's important for everybody to now start to be discerning about where they are in their journey.
Right.
Because we're here as souls moving into that heaven on earth experience, the fifth dimension of living. And we can't be just sitting in the third dimension. I mean, of course, we can be. It's our choice, right? It is our choice to be either in third dimension or fourth dimension. And I stayed a long time in fourth dimension, a long time. But I needed to, because that's where I gained my wisdom, which allowed me to then propel into the fifth dimension.
Right. Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that.
Absolutely. And I love how, yes, it's a retrospect, and you looking back at your own journey and with this retrospective now, perceiving the different dimensions, it allows you to bring them with clarity for each of us to relate to it and to relate to our own journey and kind of get a sense of where we are. So thank you for that. A couple things I want to comment on. The first one is when you were talking about the third dimension and this striving. I keep hearing striving and struggling, striving and struggling. And that's probably something that many can relate to, the struggling. And I want to invite everyone who is listening, who is in the struggling or has significant moments or phases of struggling, to inspect and have a look at how does it relate with the striving, and to start to unpack this, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah
yeah.
Perfect. Because my struggle was in the third dimension. It was all about trying to conceive and trying to find the ways where I could have a child. And I was seeking that outside of me. I was seeking for health and wellness in this course. There's no judgment here, and that is all well and good. But there is an element of suffering, of pain. Yeah.
So what's if you're in struggle, what are you striving for? What is your striving? So that's a good question for everyone to ponder. The other thing, so actually there's a third comment that comes to my attention. So the second one is how it seems to be that the phase of the fourth dimension it presents to me, as necessary as it is, this whole healing phase. It can turn into like the wheel, the hamster wheel, in which we engage in a never-ending healing, and healing this, healing that, healing. And yes, we can find something to heal forever. We can be on a forever healing journey, but that's not the point, because then we end up in this healing hamster wheel, right?
Absolutely. That is so pivotal, because it's obsessive. It's almost like an addiction.
Right.
Because you are always seeking it outside of you, because you still think it's separate from you. You still think it's out there, that you as this powerful being of light is God, is creator of their creation, of your own creation. And you are already everything there is. But you don't know that yet. So you keep on looking outside of you.
And that's where, so here's my perfect transition. Here's my third comment. When you said for yourself that you realized that it was time to return to your heart. And as you said, it's time to return to my heart. I feel how this resonates very much through the audience. And I'd like to invite everyone to just take a moment to hold that thought and maybe even speak it out loud if you can, or to whisper it, and to feel how it feels when you say it. It's time to return to my heart. How does it sound for you? How does it feel for you? What's the truth about it? What's the calling? Well, is your heart calling you? And I believe that there is a calling of our hearts to return, and that's one of the, if not the main reason why we have you as an expert speaker, is to bring this calling and to allow the callings of our hearts to be heard by ourselves. So let's take a moment to, with that, it's time to return to my heart and to experience the effect of this statement. And feel the
to
truth.
Feel it.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you for bringing that very, I think it's a very significant, though so simple, but very significant statement. Now, you've mentioned that in the fifth dimension, force and control are no longer needed in order to create. So can you provide examples of how this shift in consciousness has allowed you to manifest your desires and to create a more fulfilling reality?
I've got this ultimate experience, a manifestation, and what fifth dimension manifestation looks like, heaven on earth looks like. But firstly, I just want to premise to say that we have benevolent beings, our spiritual guides, that are in the wings, in the unseen, that are orchestrating ahead of us all the time. See, they have the big picture. They know. We agreed as souls before we were incarnated in this earthly existence that they would support us in our transformation and our evolution, our ascension into the fifth dimension and beyond. So in January of this year, so I just wanted to mention that because I'm going to refer back to that. In January of this year, I inherited a computer monitor from my husband. And this is like a everyday kind of situation, Sophie, whether you inherit it or not, I was inherited. I was so blessed, so abundant. My husband gave me one of his old monitors, which is new, and it was very nice. So this prompted me to seek a desk, seek a table for you're in my sacred space now, for my sacred space. Now, I had specific requirements for this desk because it's a smallish space and the monitor was not so standard. So a standard desk just would not suffice. So I also live in a very semi-rural area. There are many residential houses, but it's quite rural. Like the main street, which is only a minute from me, has a childcare centre, a pub, which is like a dwelling for eating and drinking, if anyone doesn't know what a pub is. And there's a real estate agent and an agricultural machinery business where they sell tractors and lawnmowers and so forth. Oh, and there's a post office. So that's virtually, blink and you'll miss it as you drive down the main road. So I had no option. I had to go online. I had to shop online. It's not my favorite thing to do. But I was so excited that, oh my goodness, I'm going to get a desk, because I actually needed a desk at some point, and I had this monitor. How wonderful. So over a period of 2 weeks, I was pretty much daily scrolling, researching, Googling, and I just could not find this desk. And I even started getting quotes for a custom-made desk, and that was just excessively too high. And I thought, nah, this is just exhausting. Like, I just can't find anything. And I was pretty much kind of thinking to myself, perhaps I'm not meant to have a desk. Like, perhaps I should just sell the monitor and then don't have to worry about this any longer. So I received divine intervention again from my spiritual team, and they posed one question to me, and it was, what if, just what if, there's another possibility? I thought, what if there's another possibility? Well, what does that mean? And I thought, well, perhaps I should just stop looking for a desk, because clearly this is just not going the way it was. What started to be this really fun and exciting project ended up being arduous, ended up being like frustrating, and it was causing me anxiety because I just couldn't find the desk that I wanted. And I just wanted a desk with specific specifications, yes, not so standard, but again, I didn't think it was going to take so long and so much of my time and so much effort. So I kept on doing and doing and doing and researching, and it just was not appearing. It wasn't gelling. Nothing was coming through. So that point, I just accepted and just surrendered that I'm going to stop looking for this desk. Because, Sophia, I've been down this road before. The futility of forcing, of controlling, of pushing, of striving leads to only
Like
suffering,
in the struggle,
as you
right?
said
Like
that.
in the struggle, yeah.
Yeah, the struggle and the suffering.
There we go, struggling for the desk, starting from
yeah,
a gift.
and it will make me and it was making me feel anxious.
Right, yeah.
So I knew that it was time to stop. And I received and felt, when I did surrender to this, finally, I felt this sudden softening. This softening. I was just softening. It's okay. It's okay. I was saying to myself, I was thinking, where's this softening coming from? I knew, but I was really feeling into this softening, the surrender, the letting go, the releasing. And then one day, it was a Friday, and I normally go for my heaven on earth walks, and I seriously call it a heaven on earth walk, which I thought you'd find very funny. And I was, yeah, I know. I've called it that for many years now. And I was on my heaven on earth walk, and I was going to go on my heaven on earth walk. Sorry, I normally go in the late afternoon, about 4-ish, 4 o'clock. But somehow I was guided to go at just before midday. So it was still kind of early, late morning. So I thought it was a beautiful day. Yeah, okay, I might as well go. So a minute from my home, just main road, I got onto the path and started walking. And ahead of me, about 7 feet ahead of me, I saw a round table on the path. I walked up to this table. It was on the path, it was obstructing the path. I had to walk around the table to keep on walking. Of course, I didn't keep on walking because I thought, well, hello. Where did you come from?
What are you doing here?
Hello.
On my way.
I know. And divine manifestation, that is. And I noticed it was in perfect order. It was fine. It was strong. Great, solid foundation. It had a lot of scribbles from children. So it was right in front of the childcare centre. So I thought, let me go into the childcare centre and see about this table. So I quickly go in, and they said, oh yeah, we're giving it away. You can have it. I thought, oh, okay. And they said, well, funny enough, we were expecting someone else to come and collect it, but they failed to show up. So it's yours if you want it. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, can this get any better? And then to even add to the serendipity of this whole experience, I asked the childcare worker, would you help me carry it home? I'm virtually 2 minutes away, because I know if I leave it here and go for my walk and come back again, it won't be here. It was a rare find. And as I mentioned earlier, I do live in a very semi-rural area. So this find does not happen easily. So of course she agreed, remarkably. And we carried it back here. And that weekend I spent sanding it. Never done that before, but I really loved it. I painted it white, and I placed it into my new office, my new monitor. And I think there are a couple of revelations here with this whole experience, because this table was a rare find. It presented itself seamlessly, effortlessly, joyfully, magically, because I let go of doing and trying to find it. And it worked out to be even better because it was a round table and it suited my space. And it fit the monitor, the unusual monitor, perfectly on this table. So it ended up being this creation that I didn't even have to do anything to find it, apart from just, fixing it up. And that was an absolute joy. So it was such a perfect unfolding. And that's the heaven on earth, fifth dimensional experience of manifestation. Just really wanted to add one more thing here. the revelation and the thought when I was looking back at this, I was thinking, wow, we can either choose to create from forcibly doing, or we could choose to create that's heart aligned by being. I just wanted to sit with that for a moment.
Yeah, thank you. And one thing I want to drop there to add to the creating by being is that one thing that it required though is being attentive. You had to be attentive to and follow your impulse or inspiration to take your walk that day, take your walk earlier instead of sticking to the late afternoon, right? That's what made it happen. That's one of the elements that made it happen. And in the creating by being, as opposed to the creating by doing, which we are very familiar with. We've done it so much and we know the struggle of it. So if we want to experience something else and something new, let's try this creating by being. The element of being attentive to the subtle voices, subtle indications, the subtle callings and prompts, that's very key, right? Being attentive, being in the listening.
The end, what supports you is coming back to your heart. Using your heart is there as this navigational guidance tool. When you can't connect with it as often as you can, you are led by your heart. And that's just the seamless creation that occurs when you lead with your heart, because it's heart aligned, right?
Yeah.
But if it's mind aligned, like you're thinking it and you're forcing something to happen, then that is going to cause the struggle, the anxiety. And look, you might end up finding what you're searching, but it's going to take you a heck lot longer. And it may not, but it's going to cause you a lot of disharmony.
Yeah.
Emotionally, mentally, perhaps even physically.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing this experience and this unfolding. It's kind of the magical creation in the fifth dimension, right? And heart aligned, as you said. And really, thank you for I feel that it's a gift you have gifted to our audience. The gift of this question. This question is so key, that brings the shift of what if there is another possibility. So again, there's an invitation here to, whenever we are in struggle, to notice that we're in struggle, to realize, catch ourselves being in the struggle, and bringing this question, what if there is another possibility? And allowing the question to take us to the other possibility and to the higher vibrational possibilities and solutions and answers and heart aligned creation. So thank you for this gift of this. It's kind of a magical question, right?
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting, Sophie, I had another revelation after this experience of finding the table. And that was that I just witnessed and observed myself looking back when I was forcing it to come into my reality, that I had this profound moment where I realized that I went straight into this automatic mode. The automatic pilot switch came on and I went into straight doing. And I'm sure you've experienced that, and many perhaps may have as well. When you just do it, it's unconscious, you just get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that this automatic mode, this is a pattern. This is a genealogical pattern, a genealogical mental pattern, which I've termed the doing disharmony. Because it's habitual, it's within us, it's within our psyche. And that's why I jumped into the doing without being. And to add to that, it was aligned for me to find the table. That I know. What wasn't aligned is how I was procuring the table and the timing of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is where I mentioned earlier that we have a divine team that are always orchestrating on our behalf, always looking beyond. They know the big picture. We just have to take the steps step by step, and we're guided by our heart when we do that. So it's really important that they had me focused on being, if I can say that, focused on being, because there was a bigger picture there. And they didn't want me spending my time finding a table on the internet and getting me into this struggle mode.
Right.
So this is where the picture gets bigger. The jigsaw puzzle starts to now come together even more. So I said that that there was a bigger picture there for me. It wasn't time for me to have the desk, because just behind me I have this beautiful couch, and this is where I spend a lot of my time in introspective mode, meditation, inner inquiry. And as this was happening over the autumn and winter, being that is, because it took me from when I was looking for the table to finding the table, it was a 6-month period. So I kind of like forgot about it. I just gave it to the divine and said, oh, well, if it's not meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's for my greatest good, it will come. So I just let it go. And it allowed me to spend more time on my couch, cuddled up with my cat, just meditating. And my meditation, one specific meditation that I had, and there was a series of them, but this is the first one I had. I was in my heart. I always start in my heart when I start meditating. And I was in my heart, and before me this portal opened. So I walked through this portal, and before me I saw this beautiful woman, and she was adorned with this soft blue silky garment, which was just like, it was like slow motion. It was just like flowing in the wind. And she had this long light brown hair that again was just flowing. And she had this simplicity about her, this natural, she was very natural looking, but still very striking and very captivating. And it was Mother Mary. And she Just going like this, Sophie. She was just going, join me, follow me on this path. So as I was following her, she was skipping, like she was skipping in air. She was so, and this was just like, okay, she's free, she's light, she's liberated, she's just flowing, she's just moving gracefully. She said, come, follow me, follow me. And I was following her on this path, and it was lined with roses. These beautiful roses fully bloomed. There were different coloured roses upon this path, and I just recall and was focused on these pink, fully bloomed roses. And like the petals were, you know, kind of falling upon the path, or the roses were falling upon the path, and I could see the petals, and it's like they were beckoning me, come, smell my sweet scent, smell my perfection. And at one point I saw Master Jesus walk through as well. Mm.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us and taking us there, taking us on this path. Yes.
And that was just the start of this new creation, this new manifestation. And that was the Petals of Perfection path.
Right.
So again, we don't know the big picture. Sometimes we don't need to know the big picture. We just have to trust in ourselves.
Yeah.
And in order to trust in ourselves, we must return back to our heart.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Before I go to the next question, I want to bring, there's something that I find interesting, how the word perfection, as you were telling your story at the beginning, the story of your journey through the different dimensions, there was in the third dimension, there was the search for perfection, right? The perfectionism that many of us can be possessed with. And I know it has been a trait.
Yes.
I'm kind of a recovered perfectionist. Now I observe myself when I'm tempted to go there. I'm like, oh, there you go. And it's kind of, I find it kind of amusing, but we can find the presence of the perfection, the experience, and the quest of perfection at that level of the third dimension. But what you're mentioning and the evocation of the perfection in the fifth dimension, it's interesting to me that we find the perfection here and there, but we can imagine that they are not the same qualities of perfection. Can you just briefly address this or comment on this?
What comes to mind was a client I saw recently, and she was a perfection addict. And she came to me because she was experiencing a lot of emotional turmoil, and what that looked like was she was just frustrated, and she was angry. She felt unfulfilled, unsatisfied in her life. Yet she had so much in her life. She was doing, striving, pushing, forcing, controlling to expand her business. She had a small spiritual business, and she was so excited about growing it that the perfectionism in her felt like she kept on needing to seek externally, to jump mindlessly into doing the next business course that would support her to expand her business, and to give her that, perhaps a bit more of an edge, and to no avail. She spent a lot of money, a lot of time doing these courses, and kept on going, oh, well, that didn't work out, so I'll do the next one. Oh, well, that didn't work out, I'll do the next one. It was this search to perfect everything in her business. So she's looking externally. And she came to this realization because it was causing her so much anxiety. And as I said earlier, she was actually getting really frustrated, really angry. And she was starting to obviously self-judge and self-criticize. And then she was exploding out and blaming and judging others as well, that, well, they weren't living up to my expectations. Right? That's perfection for you in this state of consciousness. So she came to this profound realization that the perfectionism within her was distorting her from her highest truth, that it was trying to fill a gap, fill that gap so she could feel worthy, she could feel entitled, she could feel relevant. But again, that can only sustain you. Well, actually, it cannot sustain you, because when you're in the fifth dimension of consciousness, you know when an action you're taking, a forceful and a doing action that you're taking, is not serving you, is because how it makes you feel. And it was making her feel awful. So she realized that it was just not aligned. What she was doing was not aligned. And it was causing her anger and frustration. I just remember this, Sophie, because she went stagnant. She was not receiving any clients. Clients weren't coming to her because she'd closed off. She'd limited herself. She'd restricted herself because she felt that she needed to look further outside of herself in order to feel worthy of creating this business. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And what I'm hearing in what you're saying is the distinction between doing perfection or being perfection, being and owning our divine perfection. And that's where we want to be. We want to be in the being perfection as opposed to being in the doing perfection, right? So
that's so true. The being is the place where you're just more connected to your own heart and your own truth.
mm-hmm.
You're
And
not discounting.
Yeah,
you're not discounting your authenticity. You're not abandoning yourself,
right.
or neglecting your own truth, because you're already connected to your truth and you know that you're already perfect.
That's right. You just need to be it, right? You need to
You've just
own
got
it
to.
and be it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Great question. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. All right. So, I'd like you to talk about the pink bloom initiation. That's a very intriguing concept. So, can you please explain how this teaching method works and how it helps to unlock the wisdom hidden within the heart chakra?
Yes, so first and foremost, the pink bloom initiation is part of that beautiful meditation where it was revealed to me that this petals of perfection path would be a tool, a methodology, a process to support humanity move through the ascension process more gracefully, more meaningfully, and of course, more heart aligned in order for us to transition through these dimensions of reality. Like me, mine was suffering and mine was struggle. Yeah, mine was doing. But it doesn't need to be that way. So wherever your heart is at, and this is really key, because this technology will always meet you where your heart is at. So regardless of whether you're in the third dimension or you're in the fourth dimension, you could be even in the fifth dimension, it'll always meet you where your heart is at, and it will support you in this ascension journey through the heart. So what was revealed to me is our heart, which is the first heart that we experience in the petals of perfection path. And there are other levels, other hearts. But I won't go into that because, that's, well, we're not ready for that yet.
That's
So
another story.
that's
a whole
that's
other
right. That
thing.
is
Next time
next
we
time
meet.
we meet, Sophie,
That's
we're
right.
going to have another topic. Yes.
Let's stick
So
to
yeah,
now. What's on the menu?
exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, it gets too confusing as well. And I don't want to be leading people astray. So the pink heart chakra, the pink blooms on this beautiful petals of perfection path, were sharing with me that the pink heart chakra was the first heart to be explored on this journey. So I was shown, when we look at the sacred geometry of the pink heart chakra, the mandala of the pink heart chakra, it intricately displays 12 petals. And interestingly, a few years back, I remember looking at the heart chakra once, the mandala, and knowing that they were petals, but and I remember asking myself, I wonder what these petals signify. But I remember asking the question. So again, fast forward, here we are, and it's now being revealed. So the petals, the chakra itself holds really quite a lot of symbolism. And the petals themselves, they represent facets of our being, our multi-dimensional being. So each of the petals are associated with the 12 rays of God, otherwise also known as the rays of creation. Many people may be familiar with the 7 rays of creation. I'm in the pink bloom initiation, we're working with the 12 rays of creation, because every petal is associated with a ray. So what is a ray? the rays of creation are emanations from God source consciousness. Each ray is an archetypal quality, has an archetypal quality. It has its own essence. It has its own scent, let's say. And each ray is, as I mentioned, associated with each of these petals. In the pink bloom initiation, I refer these as cosmic deities because they are cosmic rays, and they are deities because they're direct emanations from God source consciousness. That is the hidden symbolism of the pink heart chakra. There's much more symbolism there, which I do share within, because that's one of my offerings, of course, in the actual process. But let's just focus on the petals,
Right.
because what we're doing is we're going through a process where we're actually unlocking each of these divine expressions, these highest expressions of ourselves that we've never unlocked ever before. So it's really quite a very mystical, steeped in ancient wisdom, and it is I wanted to say that the actual structure that's coming through now, the structure of the pink heart chakra offers this the foundation for this particular pink heart or pink bloom initiation. It holds us. The structure holds us. And as I mentioned, the structure itself has other associations, including the elements and the elementals, and so much more. And so each of the petals we unfurl. And what we do, we move into the consciousness of that petal. We reparent the petal. We repattern the petal. We reintegrate the petal. And what I mean by that is that whilst each of the cosmic deities has and imbues this higher expression, there also are lower expressions that we must address in the first instance. So when we're in one of these petals, we reach the heart, the inner sanctum of each of these petals. We are supported by the cosmic colors of love collective, these benevolent beings that will support us to reharmonize, to soften, to bring into balance and equilibrium each of these petals, so we can then unfurl. So its highest expression, its highest essence, its highest archetypal quality can be invoked. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And I love how, listening to you, I get kind of the visual of the 12 petals around the heart, 12 petals, 12 rays, 12 cosmic deities. And I get when this visual is presented, and with the sense of each petal being, what can we say, activated maybe, or let's say activated,
Yes.
I get to perceive the perfection. Once the mandala is complete with the activation of each petal, here is the perfection, right? And it makes it very approachable in a way, because it brings the visual of it, and it brings it right to the heart. So I really love this evocation that you've just made. Can you provide more insight into the Cosmic Colors of Love Collective, because that's another intriguing and fascinating.
Yes. Well, the cosmic colors of love are essentially the benevolent beings that overlight each of the rays of creation, and therefore overlight each of the cosmic deities, each of the petals, each of the cosmic deities. So I'm going to give you an example here. So if we were to look at the first petal is the blue cosmic deity, because that is the color of the ray. It is blue. And this cosmic deity and this essence of the cosmic deity is that of divine will, of divine power, of divine strength or courage. The archetypal quality of this cosmic deity is that of a pioneer, that of an innovator, that of a manager, managing, that of leadership. It's actually a very masculine, ray, as in to say that it just holds a higher vibration of masculinity. These other rays can be either feminine or masculine. Sometimes they can be both. In fact, they're always both. There's always feminine and masculine, right? This is really key, Sophie, because I'm going to mention that the whole one of the premise of having the pink heart chakra as this foundational structure for pink bloom initiation is because it is about bringing everything into unity and equilibrium, both masculine and feminine coming together, both divine feminine, divine masculine coming together, creating wholeness, right? Creating wholeness. Right. We're all coming together, just like those jigsaw puzzles, those jigsaw pieces coming together to whole, coming back into wholeness and completeness, totality. So so the cosmic colors of love. Let me just say that before I forget. Sorry, I digressed. Thank you. Sorry, I do. They are, so we have the cosmic color collectives that overlight these, each of the petals, exemplify the divine attributes, the divine essence of each of these petals. So we have the Elohim. We have Elohim Amazonia and her masculine counterpart Hercules that exemplified the blue ray and therefore overlight the blue cosmic deity. We also have the archangels. We have Archangel Michael, and Archeon, his feminine counterpart, Faith, that also overlight this ray. We also have a Cohen, can be known also as a Lord or Ascended Master, and that's Master El Moria. And of course, then we have angels. We have the Elohim angels, the legions of angels that support Amazonia and Hercules. We also have the legion of angels from the great central sun, the legions of angels from the blue flame, the legions of angels of the blue ray. also overlighting this entire experience and the consciousness of this cosmic deity. And I have to say, because my guides, they can be quite funny, actually, a bit goofy sometimes, that they're quite funny. I did actually say to them, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm going to have the entire company of heaven on this pink bloom initiation, because each bloom, each of those petals, each of the cosmic deities has its own collective. So we'll be invoking with incantations and bringing these energies forward to support, to guide us, not only for each petal, but for the entire 12 petal initiation process. So that's where the cosmic colors of love collective come through, and that's what they came to me to be referred to as.
Right. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Because what you just mentioned, those you just mentioned, they were just for one petal, right?
Yes,
so
one petal. One.
Imagine that times 12. So that's,
yes.
As you say, that's the whole company of heaven.
Company of heaven. Yeah, I know. I know. We had it. We had a bit of a giggle about that. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
So no, it's exciting. It's very.
It is huge. And okay, wow. So I want to jump right into you're offering the special offer that you've created, a wonderful special offer, Pink Heart Chakra Expansion. It's a sojourn of remembrance invoking the 12 cosmic deities. So you've laid the ground to bring this special offer. We'd love to hear all about that. For everyone to follow, you can go to gracefulconnections.com/Sophia2, or simply just scroll down the page to discover Sophia's special offer. Sophia, please reveal what you have created for our audience.
So it's called, the overall package is called the Pink Heart Chakra Expansion, right? So there is, first and foremost, we have option 1. So option 1 has 3 items. The first item is the Pink Bloom Brilliance Session. This is our one-to-one private coaching. And this has been particularly crafted so we can focus upon and address the doing disharmony and what that looks like in your reality. So we go straight to the core. It's like a laser focused session with me. So we work on the doing disharmony, and that is the pattern that breeds that confusion, that breeds that ceaseless searching, that struggle, that suffering, that perfection, as we spoke about. Truly is seen as this control mechanism. So we address this control mechanism and we dissolve it. So how that occurs is that I will guide you through this very hypnotic transmission that will allow you to come into calmness. Just relax you. It'll soften you. So we can allow these higher energies of consciousness to work more through you. That's the first thing we do. Then I will lead you through into your pink heart chakra. And there I will unite you with your higher self and your guardian angel. There could be a point where you may have other spirit guides, your own team, your own spiritual entourage come through at this point as well, here to support you. then I'll create this little incantation, this blessing, to request for the petal that needs to be focused upon, the one that is going to come forward for its ultimate harmonization. The petal presents itself, one of the 12. One of these petals will, I will see, I'll let you know which petal has come forward to support you on your journey into the 5th dimension of consciousness. And then we're going to go through a process of purification, essentially. And this is where we are going to deeply move into the heart, into the inner sanctum of the petal, and we'll address those disharmonies. And I will either be using, depending on what comes through, Sophie, because sometimes it can be a little bit different, and I leave that for the divine also to channel through me. If, let's say, it's the blue petal that we're working upon, I may be utilizing the blue ray for its healing and its expansion, bringing it back into integrity. Or I could be also incorporating another ray. It could be the pink ray of love, or it could be the white ray of purity. So it really depends on what that petal, what that cosmic deity requires in order for it to express itself and expand into its highest potential. So I will work with cosmic frequencies of Elohim consciousness to support in the harmonization of the petal. We are going to go really deep in terms of we'll be liberating any of the genealogical patterns, anything that's appeared from a childhood trauma perspective, that will be cleared. And upon completion, the Cosmic Colors of Love Collective will also be available to us. They'll also be oversighting this transformation, this healing, this rebirth of the cosmic deity. And they'll be there supporting us, guiding us, and certainly bringing in any wisdom, they may have a message for the individual to support them on their ascension journey to the 5th dimension. So that is the one-on-one session, and that is that's a 75-minute session. Then we have item 2, and item 2 is the Pink Bloom initiation. So I've already kind of shared a lot about the Pink Bloom initiation. So what I will do is I will perhaps just share how it supports you to reclaim those lost parts of you, those fragmented parts of you, where you continue to separate yourself from your true authenticity. So like the one-on-one session, every week we will be going into the consciousness, into the inner sanctum, into the inner heart of each of the petals week by week. There is a period of time where we do have a 2-week integration embodiment that will occur, and then we'll commence again, completing the rest of the petals. So each week, one petal will be unfurled.
12 petals, 12 weeks.
Pretty
12,
much,
12
yes,
active
yes,
weeks
and then with a
plus
little bit of a
wonderful.
yes,
Yeah.
active
Okay.
weeks,
12
yes,
active
correct.
weeks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, and please let me know if I do miss something there too. Yeah. So
And just a note, sorry, but there's all the details are really laid out in the special offer page. So everyone go
yes,
and read the details, but Sophia is going to give us the highlights. So yes, please go ahead.
yes, yeah, yeah. I will give you the highlights because, as I mentioned, we have already kind of discussed a lot about the pink bloom initiation. So this is a group setting. It is live and it is recorded on Zoom. So I'll be able to see everybody on the screen. It's highly recommended that you are in a place where you're uninterrupted. It's a very meditative process. You will be, I will be bringing in a lot of the alchemy of visualization, incantations, to support you on your journey to soften that human side of you, that ego side of you, so you can really focus and be focused upon working with the heart of each of those petals. So we'll be essentially releasing any residue which is impacting your authenticity and your truth. Again, going through the generational childhood traumas where you've self-abandoned yourself, still think that you're separate from source, when of course it's all within you. You will be cultivating a more deeper and stronger relationship with your heart. And there will be some time during those 12 initiations. That's the homework, essentially, is to start to create this conversation, this connection with your own heart. By doing so, you're going to start to trust the unfolding in life. Recognize where doing is not serving you any longer. And rather than doing, you move into being. And the only way that you recognize that doing is not serving you is how it makes you feel. If it's making you feel arduous, if it's making you feel anxious, if it's making you feel frustrated, are you saddened? Are you angry? So we get to experience feeling again, bringing yourself back into your body, listening to your body, the wisdom, the intelligence of your body. So that's very key in this work, is feeling again and not be afraid of feeling it. So we do go big, we do go deep. I will encourage throughout each of the sessions that these transmissions, very high vibrational transmissions, that you do feel the pain or whatever is coming through. It's so important to do that, because when you feel it, you start to employ this divine cosmic mother, nurturing divine presence, maternal presence within you. And you can look and feel those experiences and give them the attention, the acknowledgement, the acceptance that they need. And this, my friend, is what true radical self-love looks like. You will experience a self-love and a self-worth that you'd never experienced before.
I'm
I say
hearing,
that with
sorry
my
to
heart.
interrupt, but I'm hearing that's where the perfection arises in the petal, right? The perfection of the petal
Yeah.
comes forth, right?
Yeah, I like that, Sophie. I never thought of it that way, but yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. So
Thank
again,
you.
when you start having that relationship that within yourself, it starts to emanate with all of the relationships you have externally, whether it's your partner, your children, whether it's your parents, whether it's your cousins, your friends, or work colleagues. Relationships will change because you're changing within you. It's beautiful. It's truly beautiful. It is a true softening. Let's not underestimate the word softness and kindness and gentleness. These are the most important attributes we must have at this stage in order to return back to our hearts and connect to our soul truth, to who we are authentically.
Sorry to interrupt again, but one thing I'm picking up in the probably in the audience as you share this is there's a craving of the heart, of the hearts, a craving for that softness. So when you said let's not underestimate the softness, the echo that I can perceive is that hearts are actually craving for this softness.
Yeah, that is beautiful, Sophie. That is truly beautiful because harshness, right? We are so harsh with ourselves. We're so harsh. And when you go through this process, you feel the harshness. You understand, you accept this harshness. So when you bring in the softness, you feel it. You feel how liberating, how freeing, how peaceful, and how expansive softness is to support your heart to expand. Pink heart, chakra expansion. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
And then, which is also really cool, and it's what we've been talking about, is divine orchestration, divine timing. We begin to understand by surrendering to allowing the softness to envelope us. This is when we trust. We have a strong connection with our heart. We can now trust, we can let go, and we can allow divine orchestration and divine timing to unfold the next piece in the puzzle. And of course, we're supported by the Cosmic Color and Love collectives. Each petal has its own, and they'll support and guide us, not only for each petal, but for the entirety of the entire 12 initiation process. Which leads me then to the third item for option 1, and that is the pink bloom coronation. And this is imprinting the impeccable beauty. This is imprinting the highest expression of the cosmic deities. Each of the petals will unfurl into a fully bloomed pink rose. We're uniting all of the 12 cosmic deities together. We're spotlighting, we're illuminating your immaculate design. We're embodying each of the cosmic deities within our being. So in your walking reality, they can support you make decisions by utilizing their archetypal quality, the highest expression. And you're able to communicate your truth, your authenticity, with so much more simplicity and so much ease. There's more clarity in your expression. And you also get to a sense of fostering that greater presence within you, that, you know, it's not always, it's just not me. There is this greater universe, There is that oneness, that completeness. And you're bringing it all together into complete unity and wholeness. And lastly, the second option is the pink bloom brilliance session, which I've already spoken about. So I don't need to repeat that, do I, Sophie?
No.
And that's just
Just
one session.
to recap, to recapitulate, there is option one includes all the three elements: the private session, the 12-week journey through and into the activation of each of the 12 petals, and the coronation, imprinting impeccable beauty. So that's option one, is the full package. Option two
Yes,
is the private session only, right? And
correct.
I can feel, as you describe and talk about this, I can feel our heart's excitement for this
Yay.
blooming, for this, oh, it is so magnificent, for this expansion, right? This opening, this blooming, this expansion. And it is totally new and exclusive. So thank you, Sophia, for offering the exclusivity of this brand new creation for Graceful
Thank
Connections,
you.
and for this whole offering, the full package or the private session only. It is very, very generously priced, and it comes with a two payment option, making it very accessible and very feasible. So thank you so much for creating this. It is a magnificent creation, and we can, I can feel the excitement and the joy, of
Joy,
the
yes.
heart for this creation, and the applause, and the cheers. So thank you so much, Sophia.
Thank you.
I think one thing we would love right now is to have an experience with you.
Yay.
A pink chakra you're going to give us, offer us the gift to experience a pink heart chakra attunement, a lullaby of love liberation. So if you need to tell us about it, or if you want to jump right into the experience, it's all yours now.
This experience was really truly guided, of course, by the Elohim, the Seven Sisters. And it is the importance, as we mentioned earlier, about softness. Coming back into your heart is coming back into softness. It allows us to unhurt our heart. It allows us to unbound our heart. So what I'm going to do is invite you all to gently close your eyes. And if you like, you may wish to place one of your hands, it doesn't matter which hand, you can place it on your heart, just to bring your focus and your attention back to your heart. I'd like you to inhale deeply and exhale deeply. As you inhale, just feel the energy moving from your head and moving back down into your heart. With the exhale, just allow focus and this attention in your heart center. One more time, let's inhale. And connecting with our hearts again, we exhale. And as you keep on breathing and surrendering to these breaths, I'm going to invoke the 7 sacred winds from the 7 galactic directions. And I'd like to welcome from the east, the house of light. From the north, the house of night. From the west, the house of transformation. From the south, the house of the eternal sun. From above, the house of heaven. From below, the house of earth. And from the center, the galactic source, which is everywhere at once. I summon these 7 great winds to come forward now and create a whirlpool, a vortex spinning counterclockwise at God's speed within the heart. And as it spins counterclockwise, it clarifies, it purifies all energies, bringing your heart into equilibrium and balance. I'm going to summon this whirlpool to expand now out from the heart into our physical body, enveloping our entire physical body, purifying and clarifying, refining, cleansing, clearing. And let's summon this whirlpool to expand out into your aura, purifying, cleansing, and clearing, and clarifying your energy. I'm going to ask that this whirlpool of purification stays operational outside of our aura for the duration of this beautiful lullaby of love activation. And I like you to bring your attention and your awareness back into your heart. Just ground ourselves. Send your grounding cord, however it appears to you, from the base of your spine, descending into the earth, traveling deep into the earth. Mother Earth is now rising, and with her hand she takes hold of your grounding cord and she brings it, anchoring it into her heart. And we thank Mother Earth for her support. Thank you for your love. Thank you. Bring our attention back to our heart. And we visualize another cord ascending from your heart through your crown into the heavens above. And then we see Father Sun. He takes hold of your spirit cord and anchors it deeply into his heart. And we thank Father Sun for his strength and his illumination. Now we bring our awareness back into our heart. And I'd like you to visualize that there's a pink, fully bloomed rose at the doorstep of your heart. And you're standing in front of this rose. And you notice that the center point of this rose is this magical doorway, this portal, this golden portal. And I'd like you to walk into this portal. And as you're walking into this portal, you notice the threshold, the access point to your pink heart chakra. I'd like you to step over the threshold, and there before you, you see this expansiveness. You see nebula with shades of pink radiance leading from the soft pinks to the dark pinks, the fuchsias. You're within the cosmos, and before you, down at your feet, you notice this long carpet run up. It's levitating within this cosmos, within this expansiveness. And yes, it's safe for you to start walking upon this carpet. It's holding you, it's supporting you, it's safe, it's okay. Start walking upon this beautiful carpet. It's a velvety carpet, so cushioning, it's so luxurious. And as you're walking, you come across this intricate cushion. It's embroidered. When within the embroidery, you see these rose crystal quartz hidden within the embroidery. You can see it glistening. And I'd like you to step onto this cushion now, which was also levitating within this cosmos of pink nebula. Take a seat. Get comfortable. You're ever so supported. You're ever so safe. You are ever so loved. And I invite your higher self and your guardian angel to merge and unite with you now. I also now welcome the seven sisters of Elohim consciousness, the seven great cosmic emanations of God Creator. I summon you to come and rest in our presence. And they graciously respond, and they descend from all of their etheric retreats across the cosmos. And they appear in this circular formation just above our crown. Thank you. And I now summon Elohim, Amora of the pink heart, of the pink ray of divine love, to step forward. And she's extending her hands and welcoming in the angels of Amora, the legions of the pink ray. The legions of divine love. Beloved sister Amora, encompass our hearts with the pink flame of divine love. Saturate the core of our hearts. And diminish all disharmony. Namora gracefully breathes this lullaby of love upon our hearts. Pink, pure essence, deeply penetrating into our pink heart chakra. And as you inhale ever so gently, feel this divine softening, this supportive, nurturing, and nourishing force wash and envelope your heart. And let's exhale the divine softness and supporting, nurturing, and nourishing essence of universal love, divine love. And continue to inhale, receiving, and exhale, and giving. This perpetual motion of receiving and giving, the microcosmic circular movement of receiving this pure pink love as it sings through every facet of our being. There's this cleansing of this residue occurring. You can feel that there's some resistance there in front of the pink heart chakra. I'm going to summon the pink lullaby of love to soften this harshness. Feeling a great sense of sadness, this collective sadness. And if you're feeling this sadness, just speak to this sadness. Say, I feel you. I feel you, sadness. It's okay to be sad. I acknowledge this sadness. I acknowledge you. I accept you. I accept you just like a mother, a loving mother would hold and cradle a child in her arms. Seeing this sadness as this little child, offering compassion. Oh, so offering the pure, unconditional love. And as this Divine Mother is holding this sadness and saying how much it loves you and accepts you, and is so sorry for abandoning you. But I'm here now. I'm here. I'm here. I've returned back to my heart. And I love you. And as she looks down into the arms of this sadness, she sees you. It's okay. I have you now. I'm walking beside you now, hand in hand. We're on this journey together. I can feel now this energy moving to the back of the pink heart chakra. And I now call through and welcome the Elohim to infuse our hearts with the cosmic colors of love, to support our heart to expand and activate and open. And this beautiful transmission now is making its way into every cell of your being, allowing, you can see this channel opening into every cell, and this pink ray, the essence just flooding into every cell. And the cell is just overflowing with this pink lullaby love, and it's expanding like a volcano. It's just erupting. It's working its way into your physical body and into your organs. It's moving out into your energetic bodies. It's even moving through your timelines. And Godspeed, it's clearing the way, creating a new timeline, a new experience, a new potential of the purest love. As you come back to your heart, come back to yourself on this cushion. Acknowledge the perfection that you are. Amora is saying, acknowledge the perfection of who you are. You are pure love. And the pure love that you are will set you free. Your wings will unfurl so you may fly. You may soar into the God, into your expansiveness, into your exquisiteness. So you may bloom into the cosmos. Allow this authenticity of who you are reveal itself, as now is the time. You were prepared, you were ready. To live a heaven on earth experience. And you are worthy of it. And taking a deep breath in and expelling it out. Just soften now. Just soften every part of your being. And just only when you're ready, you may wish to open your eyes, but very gently, very softly, very tenderly. Move into this presence, this new you, this you of pure love. And I give thank you and gratitude and reverence to the mighty Elohim, the seven sisters, Amora. Thank you for your lullaby of love. I thank you to the cosmic mother within. I thank your guides, your higher selves, and your hearts. Thank you, beloved hearts, for your vastness, your intelligence, your wisdom and your guidance, and welcoming us back into your heart, into this epicenter, into this sanctuary of fifth dimensional state of consciousness. I now summon that the vortex, the whirlpool, disintegrate and fall into the heart of Mother Earth for complete transformation into pure love. I send your energy back to you. I call my energy back to me. And we are done. We are complete. And this transmission is now ended. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sophia. That was amazing and wonderful and delightful. Ooh, thank you for addressing our heart's thirst for softness and pouring some softness into our hearts. We certainly got to experience and feel the potency of the pink ray, and it gives us a sense of the potency of each of those 12 rays and the profoundness and the magnificence of this journey of blooming, of expanding the heart chakra that you are offering through these 12 petals, 12 rays, 12 cosmic deities. Thank you for offering us this sample. This is just such a delightful experience. Thank you so much for this gift. Very precious. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophie. It's been an absolute pleasure to express my authenticity to you and to all that are listening now and future. Thank you.
Our privilege to experience it and to receive it. Thank you so much, Sophia. So before I give you the closing word, Sophia, I want to wrap up inviting everyone to go to gracefulconnections.com/Sophia2 or simply scroll down the page. Pink Bloom Initiation. To wrap it up, the full package includes the Pink Bloom Brilliance session. That's the one-on-one private coaching session with Sophia. The Pink Bloom Initiations, the 12-week 12 live group call series, 12 high vibrational initiations into each of the 12 petals. We had a sample today, right now, but it just gives us a taste of what this can be, what this will be like. And then the Pink Bloom Coronation, imprinting impeccable beauty. That's the final live group call to, yes, the coronation, crowning our hearts with these 12 petals. So that's the full package, or the private session on its own. That's option 2, the Pink Bloom Brilliance session. And really, I can see how with this package, you're inviting us and you're leading us from doing this harmony into being harmony. And also, yes. I love, right? That's the clarity.
I love that. Yes.
Right? That's kind of the signature of this package, from doing this harmony into being harmony. Also, I love how you address the self-abandonment, and you lead us from self-abandonment into returning to the softness and the perfection of our hearts. So thank you for this creation, this offering, this package. And everyone, do check all the details on the special offer page. You have all the details of the 12 rays and what they're all about, and their colors and their virtues and everything all about this. And join the journey. And we'll meet again on Friday, October the 20th at 8 p.m. Pacific time for an intuitive readings galore live call, and Sophia will answer your questions. That's going to be fascinating to discover which cosmic deity is emerging within me. So be there, join us on Friday. If you cannot attend the live call, make sure to write your question in advance and then catch up with the replay to receive Sophia's insights and wisdom. And you have the link in the description of the video and in your emails that you're receiving. Now, Sophia, is there any final word, any word of closing that you would like to offer? You've offered and shared so much already, but is there anything you would like to close with?
I just feel so honoured to have had this opportunity to share more about the wisdom and the sacred symbolism and the hidden dormant expressions that we all hold within ourselves, ready to be unfurled into this perfectly, fully bloomed rose. And I so look forward to witnessing that journey for each of you who decide to take this journey and travel through the heart. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, let's take a moment to be present once again to the orb of grace, in the orb of grace. Allowing it to remain there, holding us, holding all that we have received today from Sophia, through Sophia, all that we have received and experienced, all that we're not even yet aware that we have received, allowing it to sink in, to come to our conscious awareness in its own time, and holding us in grace for as long as it serves our highest good, our evolution, and the highest good of all. I'm closing now by giving gratitude to each and every one of you in the audience. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of grace and answering yes to the calling of your heart to expand. Gratitude to you, wonderful Sophia Simos, for all the wisdom, the brilliance, all the offerings that you have gifted us today, through all the graceful connections that have been woven with you and your masterful expertise and all that you have shared and offered today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gratitude to Christel. Thank you.
Thank you to you, Sophie. Thank you so much. Without you, this would not be possible. So thank you very much for being such a gracious host. Thank you.
Thank you. It is a treat for me to be with you and with everyone and to be in the orb of grace together. And yes, we want to extend also our gratitude to Christel Hughes, the Academy for the Soul, for offering this platform in which graceful connections grow and expand, impacting our lives, our environment, and the world at large, creating heaven on earth. Gratitude to the Orb of Grace for providing a safe, sacred space for this journey of exploration. Gratitude for all the grace we are blessed with at every moment. Whether we're aware of it or not, it offers all the nourishment, the nurturing, the healing, revelations, the realizations that we open our hearts to receive all along this journey. Gratitude to our higher selves and all the higher beings that guide, support, and protect us. And gratitude to the divine. Thank you. Until we meet again, many graceful blessings to all of you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sophia. And goodbye now.